Can you start? Can you start a recording?
Oh yeah, we're good. We're rolling.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see this.
Yeah. You can just cut it out.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, we're all good. We appreciate you, homie.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo, cutie. Are you bringing water?
He left the room. just start, man. We'll figure it out.
No, this is cold open.
What?
This is a cold intro.
All right.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be the preview for the trailer. Are you bringing me water?
Bro. Water ain't coming, trust me.
Water's not coming. We're thirsty. We're thirsty kids.
This is facts. This is facts.
My throat's a little parched right now.
Right.
Anyways, introduce yourself. This is a reshoot, by the way, of Unplugged and Muted.
Yeah. So, hi guys. Again, I'm Aiman Priester. I went to Iowa State for both my master's and my undergrad for computer engineering. I currently work at BAE Systems, and glad to be here on the podcast.
I'm sure you are. You were begging to be on this podcast. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I was begging you
sure.
to be on the podcast.
For sure.
No, so what got you into embedded systems?
Honestly, it's a combination of a lot of things. I think just experience with, wanting to. So let me backtrack. Programming in general, you don't necessarily see the output. Yeah, you see an output in a text. But I like it when, you make some changes in code and you can actually physically see the changes. So, for example, in the embedded system, specifically for the class that I think Ryan knows as well, and every Iowa State student knows the Roomba class. One small change can make or break your entire project.
Sadly.
Right. So when you have things like that, I think it drives a whole lot more impact to what you see, and what you change and what you eventually see, what the output of it is, and that's really what I like. So it's not necessarily a focus in robotics, I would say, but it's more like, it's more of the in between, like.
Right.
You have the electronic components, and then you have your programming, and basically trying to mesh it together.
Yeah. See, that's why I like it, because it's like taking the CommS classes, you're just trying to make the terminal output what you want it to.
Yeah. And CommSci classes, again, they're called computer science for a reason. A lot of stuff that you learn is theoretical, right?
Yeah.
A lot of things you use. Yeah. You'll never be asked to rewrite an algorithm like, I don't know, red-black trees, for example.
Yeah.
It's already well written, probably better than any of us can write, especially when you do it in, like, say, Python, where you can just call libraries.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be as efficient as it can be, unless you want to be one of those people that wants to rewrite everything.
Just a little snarky little turd about it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Dude, there was some person, my 311, like that. I was like, well, can't we just write it this way? And the TA was like, yeah, but this is, within the scope of the class. And I just was like, how are you understanding stuff before you even get taught it?
Are you taking 311 now, or did you already pass?
I passed it.
Oh, nice.
Barely. Over the
emphasis,
summer.
emphasis on the past. You passed it.
It's in the past.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't talk about the class anymore.
I know. Our good friend Evan.
Is
taking it right now. He's having a fun time.
Yeah, he said his name can't be said in the podcast. So
he did.
Yeah.
He's fine with it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Because I said it anyway.
Yeah. God, because who was I? I think I did one with Brandon. That's fine I say his name, because he's been on the podcast.
Yeah.
But that's as far as disclosure for his name. I'll do, because he wanted no cameras.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just for his
privacy sake?
Yeah. We didn't know how it'd turn out, because me and him are kind of lunatics together.
Oh, fair.
And it's kind of questionable.
Right. At least later on, post-production, you can, like, robotize your voices.
True. Who's Brandon? It could be Sydney.
Sure.
Her name could be Anna.
Yeah, nowadays.
It can be anybody they want to be.
Exactly.
They, them, it, thing. Zerzim. Is that actually pronouns?
I think so. I don't know.
Those are cool. I want those.
I don't really. The thing is, I don't really care enough, right? You want to call yourself whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
In my opinion, as long as you're a tax-paying citizen, fairly tax-paid citizen, you contribute to what you can, and you don't make a big deal out of everything.
Yeah, people who just go with the flow and just do what they're told.
I don't care.
yeah.
I don't care. I don't care what you are. I really don't.
Yeah, Apache helicopter.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
That's just cool.
That's the beauty of this country. You can do and be whatever you want.
That
But once you start imposing, right, you're telling people.
imposing thoughts.
Yeah, that's when I'm like, again, freedom to do whatever you want, but don't tell me.
But I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's perfectly fair.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you have your playing field, I have mine.
Right. But at the same time, if it's something that makes them happy, and if it's so inconsequential, I'll do it. Right. I mean,
Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
If it makes them feel appreciated.
But yeah, right. But then if you again, if you go ahead and say you got to do this because you'll hurt my feelings, or come on.
You're like, get over yourself.
Yeah.
No, hot topic in the first 10 minutes of the podcast.
I know. Dude.
Over winter break, you and one of our good friends, Evan, I can say his name because he gave me permission. Crazy. How did your guys' trip to Malaysia go?
I thought it went wonderfully, and I'm very happy that he went. For someone, and I'm not trying to minimize anybody, but for someone who's never left the country, right, to be able to leave the country and to be able to experience different cultures, I think it's a tremendous learning experience for him. Anytime you travel, it's a tremendous working experience. Yeah, not working experience, but experience in general.
Yeah. You probably put him to work over there.
Oh, yeah, of course. I told him to go climb some trees, right?
Yeah.
No, he went through a bunch of different things. We went food especially. I don't think he'll ever be able to forget the foods that he's had.
Yeah.
It's not anything crazy. I didn't give him any worms to eat. Like sometimes people think, oh, you're going to Asia, you're gonna eat this and this and this.
Some night crawlers like a fish.
Yeah, no, we don't do that. Actually, at one point I did get asked, how. One of the funniest questions was, do you have McDonald's there? Which I thought was mind blowing that you can even ask that. I mean,
It's international.
I mean, probably. Maybe not Russia, but that's a spicy take.
Spicy take.
Right. But like, we have everything that you have here. It's just it's different. The food's gonna be different. The culture's gonna be different. How you interact with people is gonna be different. Here you do small talk. Over there you definitely don't do small talk. For example, people look at you funky. You're like, why are you talking to me?
So if you're just waiting at the bus stop and you start talking to someone, and be like,
no.
That just doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen.
That's interesting.
Right.
What other cultural norms do you guys have over there that we don't have over here?
See, that's a very broad question.
In terms of communication.
In terms of communication, I think the level of respect that you have to give to elder people who are older than you are. For example, and I think this is pretty common around the world, though. If you talk to someone who is obviously older than you are, if it's a guy, you always call them uncle or girl, auntie or whatever. Sometimes you go to a point where you call them brother or sister in that language. That's just how it is.
To your aunt and uncle?
Well, no, I mean, like, as in, if they're not, like, uncle status, they don't look old enough to be an uncle status. Right. So you have to make that. And you always try to defer. You always try to defer to, the younger of the two.
Right.
So because it's a compliment to tell someone older that they're actually younger. So if you call someone older, like a brother, then they can correct you. But if you call someone older, they're like, come on, I don't look that old, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like me or something.
Yeah.
They might call me uncle over there. I don't know.
Maybe. So it's always fun to see those things. Like, for example, if you went up to some older guy and you called him by his first name, it ain't gonna go fly, especially if it's your relative.
That's no fly zone.
No fly zone. Don't do that. If it's your first time traveling, I don't think anybody would really care. But if
this guy's obviously a traveler.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Right.
So, how does that affect schools?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you refer to your teachers?
Oh, by teacher, like teacher, then their name.
Really?
Yeah.
Not Miss or Mister?
No.
Really?
Oh well, I mean, it depends. Like it depends on the teacher themselves. So they typically would introduce themselves first, and they'll
Sure.
introduce them with whatever they want to be called, and you call them that. So if my teacher's name is Ryan, right? Typically,
Yep.
you'll say Teacher Ryan, unless they go ahead and say, okay, don't do that. Just call me Ryan. Like they are the ones that have to say, okay, don't do this. Call me another thing. But if they don't say anything, then the assumption is you put their, especially for teachers, you put teacher and then their name.
Yeah, I had a teacher like that in community college. He's like, I have a PhD in English. Do not call me doctor. Reminds me of my crippling student loan debts.
That is a problem. That is definitely a problem.
I'm like, you know what? You kind of did it to yourself. But to be honest, I mean, it's like, he's probably just trying to be.
I don't know what to. How do you get a doctorate in English? Like, what do you learn? What do you study?
A 500 level of phonetics? I don't know. I have no
Like,
idea.
I get it if it's like
You start reading
literature.
Shakespeare.
Yeah, but that would be under literature, not maybe English is.
I don't know. You could be a speak pathologist.
I don't know.
I don't
man.
know, whatever. But it's like, you know how people need help with pronouncing stuff? Probably like I do. I feel like I don't know. I feel like sometimes, like when our friends don't get us water, I just feel like my pronunciation just goes.
Is gonna be.
It
Trash,
is
yeah.
gonna be garbage. It's
Fair.
I really need.
Fair.
some water.
This is not currently at all, right? No.
It is current.
Oh, it is.
It's a very current pressing matter.
Right.
Our friends did not get us water. But dude, every vending machine has just not worked. I've tried
Really?
3 of them in Cougar today because I'm like, my water bottle's at home. My fault. But I'm willing to pay the $2 for the mess up.
Right.
No.
Do you know anybody that's currently in IEEE? They could probably get you into the IEEE room. You could probably craft some drinks there.
I'm looking at one right now.
Oh, I mean, I graduated like a year ago.
Tomato.
Yeah, 8 months ago.
8 months ago. It's less than a year. I always round down.
No, yeah.
You're still in.
No, damn. I still have access to
We
my...
could talk to Ahmed.
About what?
Water. Isn't he not AAA?
Yeah, but I mean, you'd have to go walk.
I have to go all the way to Cougar and.
Yeah. It's not that far from here, but still.
Like,
But still, you
it's
don't...
not even a block.
Yeah, but you have to go to the 3rd floor, and you have to
The
actually
third floor.
Yeah,
Oh, you lost me on the 3rd floor.
exactly.
If it was ground level, we might be in business.
Dude, if it was 3rd floor, I'd just get in there myself. Yeah, funny thing enough, Iowa State has this rule where you, after you graduate, you have 6 months with your ID, so your net ID. So in my case, it's
Really?
Priester at iState.edu.
Yeah.
So you have 6 months. It's like a grace period. Funnily enough, I still have access to all of that.
You're past 6 months.
Oh, I'm definitely past 6 months. But
Yeah.
it's funny because the implication of that is if I went to a website that just checks for student ID, and instead of going like Share ID or Unidays or whatever
Yeah.
service, I could still get the... Unethical. I won't do it, of course. But it is entirely possible. I also don't know when they'll actually cut it off. If I could guess, it's probably going to be when someone comes around with the same ID, and then they just replace it.
I actually came up with a more creative idea. Like,
Nah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's another Priester coming in soon, which I don't know about.
who knows?
Uh,
Maybe it'll be your future kid.
Oh, God.
And then you'll have student discounts the rest of your life.
Why would they go to Iowa State?
I don't know.
Yeah, all
They
the
treated you good.
legacy. Right.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's super hard to get in.
I mean, didn't they treat you good though?
Oh, no, they did. I got a lot of stuff
Yeah.
from them.
A lot of beneficial
A
things.
lot of benefits, I think. And I'll be frank, it's a lot of scholarships, a lot of those things.
That's good for you, dude.
Oh no, it is, and I'm very appreciative. You know, there are comments and concerns that I can give out, but like I mean, it's with every university you have
Yeah.
those small things that you generally overlook.
Yeah.
Oh, we almost had a guest. Dang. Should have called
Who
her.
was that?
I have no idea.
I had no clue.
Yeah.
Not a dang idea. Not a diddly darn idea.
Right.
They go in the control room?
No, they just went back.
Oh, okay. They're probably like, who's
But
in here?
in any case, this is a really nice place for a
Dude, I know they have awesome acoustic panels and everything. I mean,
right.
oh yeah, I think that camera should be able to pick
Is
them up.
yeah, you're gonna have a cool guest next. I know that. Is the person gonna come here for?
Yeah,
Oh really?
yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. I'm gonna be a little intimidated. I'm not gonna lie.
So yeah, with him, you really need to.
Oh, I have a list of.
Oh, okay.
I have it structured already.
Right. One thing. Am I hearing background noise?
Yeah, it's for however reason it doesn't pick up on the mics.
Huh. Interesting. In any case,
It's so distracting. I know that you're like,
yeah, because I can hear it. In any case, you know, you should really get into. there's a fun thing that's not necessarily a rule, but there's this thing where Iowa State has a Iowa State to defense pipeline, where a lot of computer engineers or software engineers end up somehow in defense, no matter where. So you have, and it doesn't matter. Like it could be in California, it could be in Seattle, it could be DC, it could be Cedar Rapids, like I am in.
yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, they're all defense. Pretty safe industry, I'll say.
It's called defense for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they'll take care of you.
Yeah. How's your job search going?
This is as far as I've gotten with anybody so far.
What do you mean?
Getting an interview lined up,
Awesome.
and then being told to be like, "Hey, come on site. We'll do a little."
Right.
We'll
Did you get
show
any other offers going your way, or any?
Not
response?
yet. And I just applied to IBM, Collins, NSA.
So I will say when I did my job search, what I did was I went on Wikipedia and just looked up defense contractors in the United States.
Yeah.
Went through all of them. The first one was like, of course, Raytheon, Aerospace. Oh, at that time there were different entities. Then there's L3 Harris, BAE. There's I don't know what's the other. Yeah, and there's a ton of other ones. But I just went through all of them, and I was like, embedded systems, click, 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 click,
Yeah,
apply.
yeah.
So that was always very fun. Yeah, so so maybe that'll help you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess the logic at the time was I knew. Well,
Dude, you are a savior.
thank you.
How much do I owe you?
Later.
How much?
Don't worry about it.
Ahmed,
It's fine.
I love you. Water has arrived.
Exactly.
Dude, what a beautiful human being. How do you open this? This is too fancy of a lid. Just destroying half the bottle.
Bro, I'm thirsty.
Bro, how do you open this?
Come here.
Is it just a pop lid or what?
All right, guys, watch this.
Yeah, watch how to open this. Oh, okay.
Almost.
Careful. That's
almost.
$10,000.
Oh, well, only 10,000. That's your sign-on bonus, right?
Yeah, I'd like not to be replacing equipment.
Well,
Oh, they left. I was gonna give him a heart.
yeah, defense.
Dude, that's so good. That's some good water. We needed that water.
Defense is very interesting. I think it provides you a lot of security, as I said earlier. But you really, I may be careful with my words. You don't necessarily coast. There's a lot of things you need to do, but things they're a whole lot slower, right? But that's for the more traditional defense companies. I think the newer companies that's coming up, they probably are run more like a startup. So, funnily enough, because of the current events that's happening, the spy balloon in Ukraine, there's a lot of money currently going into new defense tech. At least that's what my Twitter feed tells me, and depending on how you think of my Twitter feed. But yeah, there's a lot of money that's going into defense right now. So a lot of opportunities there, which is interesting, because when you accept a defense contract, there's a bunch of rules that are set by the government, right? So I'm always curious, because I'm always curious how they're going to run, because startups are generally, okay, we got to work and get something done, and you're also paid cash and equity typically. So I wonder how that translates into
Yeah.
defense work.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I mean, you know more than anybody.
I don't know about that.
But I don't know. It'd be cool if I got to work with you, though.
Oh yeah, no,
It's cool in theory right now, and then you're going to be like, this guy fucking doesn't know anything.
yeah. I'll leave it at that.
You're like, yeah.
This pod's going online.
This is
I'm
going-
not.
No,
I'm
no.
not commenting.
No, that's okay. No. I mean, I'll do my best, obviously.
No, just
But-
like honestly.
Do they expect you to learn within the first year?
Of course you do.
Okay.
Of course they do. I think any company does. It'd be ridiculous to assume that you don't have to learn anything, or well, you know everything out of the box. University teaches you the absolute basic. It teaches you, okay, how do I think like a programmer, right? How do I write code? And granted, you don't really write good code in college.
No.
You really don't. So there's a lot of on-the-job training that you got to do. I know IBM does 6 months is their training.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
Do you get a raise after the 6 months?
I don't know. I don't know. I was just
I know
talking to
one
bunch of people.
381 TA
Mm-hmm.
works at IBM, I think.
There was a previous what's its face 381 TA as well that is currently working for Google. And I know that person had to go through a bunch of trainings as well. That person's smart as hell, but
Yeah.
but one of the things you don't learn is that in college, it's more like, okay, you get it done, you submit it, good. At work, you have to, first of all, understand the whole concept, because you're going in there and you didn't write everything.
Right.
I hope you didn't. Right. You go in there, you have to understand the previous code base, and then you have to make modifications on top of it, whilst understanding how everything connects. There's no way in hell that you're going to get that.
Yeah, let me ask you this. How often do you find it that people comment their code in an industry?
They comment. They sure comment. Is
How
the
good
comments
the
useful?
comment? How good are the comments?
Probably not. So I'm okay with the code comments. I really want to see improvement in commit messages. Because sometimes when someone commits something and something breaks, I don't want to have to go through 10, 15 files to figure out what exactly they did or what the logic behind it. Because when they're planning out these tasks, it's their own group, they figure it out. I have no idea what they did. But if I have to figure out or how to work around their issue, I need to somewhat understand what they're doing. So good commit messages are important. Don't just write there, hey,
This broke.
well, this broke, so I fixed it. It works now. No context. I think that's really...
Just say, hey, this broke because this thing wasn't going right, so in this file we corrected this.
Yeah, just at least top level. What did you change and why you did it? And I think that is actually not taught in school. It's really not. The closest...
Well, 309 maybe.
Yeah, that I was about to say. The closest you get to corporate, paths to completing your work is 309, where 309 is that class where you work with 3 other people, depends, can be bigger, can be smaller, and then you end up with some project at the end of the class. And I actually, looking back, I actually like that class a lot, and I think that there are some things that you should change about it. Yeah, the project is important. Yeah, getting it working is important, but the point of the class is actually to be able to work with other students as well, or other people, which is what is really important in the workforce. You're going to be working with 150 engineers, and if you look around you, the engineers in Vancouver, it's not going to go well if you're not taught how to work together. Yeah. Right. So I think that's pretty important, for sure.
Yeah, I'd say, I don't know, the best group experience I had was in 288. We just had a powerhouse team. That's a smart idea. I should have did that. Did you hear me drinking my water?
No.
Okay, cool. So the best experience I had was 288, Granted, I didn't do a lot of the coding, but what I did was like a lot of like the data field testing because we actually set our final project up to be compatible with 3 robots,
Right.
and we had interchangeable code for the data sets and equations and everything
Right.
for all the sensors. So I felt like that was really sick. I feel like we should get bonus points for that.
Well, if you demoed it to me and you made a case, I would have given you.
Well, my TAs also were very. We got 115% on it. It's not like we needed more.
That's the funny thing about 288 though. It's a hard class.
It's rewarding.
It's rewarding. Is it hard? Yes. And I think classes should be hard? Yeah. It's really hard to fail. I'll say that. People were so worried about failing the class. Even when I took it, people were so worried about, oh no, this is so hard, I'm going to fail this class. The amount of people that fail, are like for a class of 200, I think on average about like 3-4 people fail. Because most of your points are in labs and your final project, which are all graded by the TAs, which, realistically, you could argue for more points. It's not like an exam where it's like clear cut. If X equals to Y, and if you answered Z, then you're wrong. It's not like that at all. And exams, I think, was like, what, 20% of your grade? It's not that crazy.
It's nothing outrageous.
And at least for Dr. Jones's class, like the ones that I teach, it's more effort based than anything.
Well, especially like with how he did, and I probably won't redact his name just because I'm gonna have him on the podcast.
He's a professor.
Yeah, but the way I really liked his class is because he's like, I don't care if you work on the homework with other people, just tell me how you work together with them.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
and it was the homework was all effort based.
So I'll give you a hint. If we see similar answers, but you didn't list your name, then we consider that maybe this guy's cheating.
Yeah.
But the moment you list another person's name, we won't even bat an eye. We would not care. Like, you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Now the issue that we always have is that if people cheat and they get the same right answer, that's expected, right? You need to get the same right answer.
Yeah.
The worst ones are the ones that cheat and then get the same wrong answer and the same paths to the wrong answer.
Yeah.
That's when you're like, come on, man. At least have it right. Don't cheat. Go and check and then take the wrong answer. Like,
well, that's why I always liked working with somebody and then asking another person, like, wait, this is what I got. This is the path I took for this problem.
Yeah, and it's more important that you get the path as right as possible than anything else.
What were even the homework questions? I can't remember.
It's a bunch of...
wasn't it just like data sheet stuff?
Yeah, well, mid-semester onwards, the more data sheet stuff. Prior to that, it was a lot of like bit masking, manipulation,
and stuff.
Manipulation and so on.
Dude, I haven't done any of that in 2 years, and I started doing that with my senior design project, and I'm like, this is easy.
Yeah, if you depending on what company you go for, at the end, you're probably going to be doing a lot if you're doing embedded systems.
Oh, I don't find it really that hard.
No,
you set everything to 0, and then you set it to what you need it to be with your bit.
It's a bit more complicated than that.
Well, I'm just going off 288.
Right, and it's a whole lot more. It's a bit more complicated than that. Not a whole lot more complicated, but effectively, you have a board, and the board is just powered by electrons. Make sure that it just goes to the right place at the right time.
Electrons are moving, man.
Moving pretty fast.
They go quick.
Super speed.
They're sonic.
Exactly.
The Flash.
Well, that's why it's called that.
Yeah.
Right. But no, I mean, yeah, 288 is great. 288 is definitely great.
Yeah. That class alone is probably the reason why I want to go into embedded systems, really.
Right.
I mean, it was frustrating, the labs and stuff, but like once you knew what you're doing, it's like, this is fun.
So tell me, yes, I know you are a cybersecurity engineer. And I've never really looked at the curriculum. What is really the difference between cybersecurity and computer engineering?
The EE classes are replaced with cyber.
Is that it?
That's it. And then
2-3 classes changed?
Pretty much. Then some of the electives changed.
Well, electives are fun because like you can take any elective as long as you can.
You can make a case pretty much for almost anything.
Right, and especially for graduate classes. But too late to tell you now, right? But
yeah, I'm not.
Graduate classes are incredibly fun because you can take whatever class. if it's
Yeah,
if
that's
it's
what Ahmed was telling me too.
a little well, that's again that's one of my biggest regrets is not taking more like broad classes. Like one of the things I really think is important is learning how people think and learning just generally learning about people because you're always going to be dealing with people.
Exactly.
You can be a hermit, but once you need a job, once you need to find money, you're going to talk to people, and understanding them is very important.
Yeah.
So also learning how to think is important. So I mean, I argue that computer engineers should have at least one philosophy class or one psychology class that is tailored to computer engineering, of course.
Yep.
So you're not computer engineers in general. You have this. It's we're STEM majors. We don't know how to talk to each other.
We're socially
we're
awkward.
socially awkward. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But that needs to change.
That stigma needs to die.
Yeah, it really does. Like,
Because, yeah, that's the problem. So it's like, I mean, some companies I've heard of even had, like, there's interpreters for engineers to stakeholders. And it's like, you shouldn't need that.
right, and that's where the I argue, you should be in a position where I wouldn't say engineers should be salesmen, but you should at least be able to talk about your product, right?
Yeah. And, like, a very high level.
right, you should be able to speak about the things that you make. So for example, if you wanted to have a startup, right, and you wanted to pitch for money, you need to be able to talk about what you're making. And no one's gonna just like, oh yeah, I'm making AI, machine learning, and we're putting this.
That's all it takes, though, really.
Well,
If you say, yeah, we're using AI.
I think it also matters what. I'll be honest. I think it matters what school you went to as well. Like if I would say that you went to Iowa State or you went to MIT, the things that you learn are pretty much the same. And ultimately, you're going to learn.
You're paying for the quality.
You're paying for the
quality.
You're also paying for the fact that you can be people. The people around you are just top tier as well, right? So you can discuss with people your ideas. You can make good groups. Hell, I know a lot of companies that are just fully just MIT or fully just Carnegie Mellon or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Because it takes a while. It takes a while for you to find someone important, and that really going to those types of schools reduces that time to find someone as motivated as you are.
It's your local fishing pond.
Right.
It's like, why not?
Exactly.
And it's a good fishing pond. You're not getting some little bluegill down the river stream. You're getting a fat walleye.
You're also you tend to find people that are a whole lot more affluent that can actually fund those projects initially, and that's very important. You say that as if it's like not. It is true. People who go to MIT or UCLA or wherever, they need to be able to afford it.
Yeah,
right.
That's where the money is, dude.
Right, and in order to start up a project, to get it into like a proof of whatever, right? You need to take out some capital to show that my idea actually works, right?
Yeah, to have proof of product.
Yeah, proof of concept was what I was trying to get at, but yeah.
Proof of product, proof of concept, same thing.
Same.
Yeah. So, but what's funny, so you say that, and I've actually taken my own ideas that I've wanted to put into small business or whatever, and I actually asked Dr. Jones while I was taking 288, I'm like, hey, this is kind of the first class where I can kind of start envisioning how I'm going to start making this product. This is kind of the characteristics I want it to have. What would you recommend for me to look at? And he's like, oh, well, look at how Cyride keeps track of how many people they have on board. Because what I want to do is, like, I want to make these sensors for rooms and stuff that can count how many people are in there. Mm-hmm. And when there's nobody in there, just turn the lights off.
Right.
There's no light switch.
Right.
But it's not a motion sensor. Just keeps track of how many people are in there.
What's similar to that is the project that I made with Ahmed for a grad level class. It's an attendance tracker. So you can see when people are in the room or not. So you
using computer vision? Or?
Yeah, computer vision.
Nice.
Yeah, you should. We'll send that to you.
That's smart.
It was cool. It didn't really work out well. Well, so the main goal of that class, this was Dr. Stoichev's class.
He is an awesome
Oh,
professor.
he
dude.
is wonderful. He has a weird sense of humor. I love it.
Yeah, getting him on the podcast would be something. I don't
Whoa.
think he'd do it.
Probably not.
It'd be a wild request. I had him for 281 though.
Right. But I mean, if you have other professors on, you could be like, hey, you wanna
Yeah, I'm trying to get my employer on as well.
really,
Yeah, I don't know if you know Dr. Rush.
Julie?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to get her on, but she's really working hard with digital forensics right now.
Speaking of Julie, I'm still sad that the cat was
Yeah.
spoken for.
Well,
For context, I at one point, excuse me. At one point, I was thinking of getting a friend for my Sphinx cat, and because sometimes if I'm going out going to work, if or if I want to sleep over somewhere else, I wouldn't feel too bad. Yeah, he has the food out, he has all of that, he has more than enough toys.
yeah.
But at the same time, cats are very social animals,
Oh yeah.
right? So and a second cat will for sure make me feel a whole lot better because at least he has someone to play with, right?
Yeah.
And especially with this whole return to office BS, I want to make sure that he's well acquainted with another one. But as of right now, it's not a big rush. But that's fine. But we'll figure it out, right?
There'll be another cat. There's tons of them that need homes.
Right. The issue with adopting. So one of the reasons why it's such a pain in the ass. It is such a pain in
And
the
then you
ass.
gotta do the paperwork, you get the background
Yeah,
check.
get
you
background
get the
check, and
shot,
then
da-da-da-da.
and they get the shots. Yeah, and then you have to understand that there's a type of vaccine that is not recommended for sphinxes. But then if you tell the shelter that this guy doesn't have that particular vaccine, they're like, no, we can't do that.
So can you just get another sphinx?
Yeah, but I mean, they cost quite a bit. I will say that.
Do
Honestly,
you mind if I ask how much you paid for?
it's $1,800.
Wow, I got mine for $399.
Right, but I always wanted to. So I'm gonna take back. I didn't always want a sphinx. I've always wanted a Maine Coon. But
Those are big cats, man.
I know they're wonderful.
Oh yeah.
So the reason why I went for a sphinx, it was funny. It's always funny. It's always a funny story. Is my dad and I in Colorado doing Colorado things,
Yeah.
right? And so my dad was like,
You want me to cut that or no?
"No, it's fine.
Okay.
That's all good." And it came out to a conversation. I said, "I want a cat." And then we're like, "What cat?" My dad asked, "What cat do I want?" I said, "Maine Coon." And I was like, we're just looking at different cat breeds, right?
Yeah.
Never saw a sphinx. And my dad's like, what's funny? What would be funny if you had a if you had a sphinx and you named it Scrody, and I'll leave it to the imagination why Scrody.
Yeah.
But
That's a good one.
I thought it was tremendously hilarious. So then the next day,
You
I
just bought one, you know?
I got in contact with him. I was like, hey, I want to put my name down. I want to put a deposit.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I need one at this point.
You gotta live it out.
Right. So I did, and that was fun. I do not regret a single cent. That cat is absolutely phenomenal. I love him dearly, and I wish cats in general, you could take it out for a walk, or you can take like how you can do with dogs. But I mean, not possible. They just get lazy and they get mad at you if you walk too much.
And be like, they're just gonna lay down. They're like, I'm not getting up.
Yeah.
And then you're up carrying your cat back home, and then once you go back inside, it's like, all right, let's go back out. And you're like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're but he's a wonderful cat, and you'll get to see him soon.
Yeah, that's gonna, dude. He's gonna be like, who are you? What are you doing? What are you doing in my house?
He's good friends with Evan's cat,
Yeah, Bella.
Yeah,
Man,
very good friends.
Evan should have been on this podcast. That would have been
Honestly.
nice. He should have been.
Honestly, but he has to study, he has to do his homework.
Dude, I can never tell, like, if there's, like, a center, like, table thing. I always keep playing footsies with whoever the guest is.
It's
If
okay,
I
I like
accidentally
it,
do
man.
that to Dr. Jones, I'm going to be like,
I swear I don't mean anything by this.
I'm literally going to be like this. I'm going to be like, my feet are going to be over there. I'm going to make sure my feet are tucked in.
Oh yeah.
Tucked in, crossed.
Crossed.
My feet are crossed right now.
Nice.
But so with a Sphinx,
Mm.
what are the different responsibilities with a Sphinx than a regular cat?
Well, you don't. So for a regular cat, you don't have to bathe them as often. For sphinxes, you should probably bathe them once a week, or at the very least once every 2 weeks, because they do start smelling like hot potatoes, and I mean that specifically, hot wet potatoes that you just left out for a while, the musky ass smell. Yeah, it's just disgusting. So and that's very evident. So because my cat specifically likes to sleep under my bed sheets. So every time I want to go to bed, I get a
You're
whiff.
like,
So I always have to air it out first.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so that, and because they don't have fur, they sweat,
Yeah.
and it gets pretty gross. And imagine if you went out, ran around, worked out essentially, and just sweat, and then didn't shower for a week. It gets gnarly.
Yeah. I don't know how you do it, dude.
Yeah, exactly. You really don't. There's some people that do though. I will say that. I was in the dorms. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I lived in Farley for 1 month.
Which part of Farley?
1 semester. Noble,
Is that 4th floor?
3rd.
I lived in Spinney.
Spinney.
It's the one that, it's a corner.
Is that on the south side?
Probably, yes. South, but it's like, so you know how it's an L?
Is that the closest to Welch?
So you know how, so I will say, you know how it's an L?
Yeah.
It's literally at the corner.
At the corner piece?
Yeah,
Okay.
at 3rd floor. It was
I
great.
lived right across from UDIC.
Oh, there, okay.
Yeah.
What was my apartment number? 3913
I can't remember what mine was.
212 Bayer Court.
212 Court.
50012 Ames, Iowa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't dox that. Someone will start sending me.
Someone else lives there. Please send them fan mail.
Yeah. Tell them, Aiman, I love you.
Aiman, I love you. So, what has been your best college experience? What would you try and convince other people to do while they're at college?
So I wasn't really that crazy in college. I always kept myself very busy with classes. But I think honestly my favorite college experience was being absolutely overworked. And that's a spicy take, I know.
That's a really spicy take.
Being like absolutely overworked. So actually one of my best times in college was actually probably my last semester then.
Oh, really?
Right, yeah. I had to do my master's, which includes writing tons of papers, reading a lot of papers, working for BAE for 20 hours, teaching 2 classes.
Teaching or TAing?
Well, TAing 2
Head
classes.
TA?
Head TA for 2 classes. One of the classes I had to make the class because it was a brand new class.
What class?
287X. It's embedded systems, but for like mechanical engineers.
That's
So
actually sick.
Yeah. So that was the first ever offering of the class. So when the professor was teaching it, the labs were not ready. I was making the labs week on week.
Mhm.
That was a fun time trying to balance that with everything else.
You know Jacob Foster?
I've heard of the name,
He's
talked
a
with
grad
him.
student,
probably.
and he is getting his master's in cyber.
Nice.
But that's how he is with 436 right now, digital forensics,
Mm-hmm.
experimental course. Probably the same thing with our friend Ahmed, probably making the labs and homeworks for
Right.
intro to wireless security.
So I mean, your question again. Back to your question. That what was my favorite? That's probably my favorite, and I think everybody should have one semester that they're just entirely just going bonkers.
Yep.
Because that's really the college experience. At least if you're in computer engineering, like just one semester where you're like, oh my god, I don't know if I can do this, and then the satisfaction when you actually get it done. And you're
Yeah.
actually done with a semester, and you're like, holy shit, if I can do this, I can do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's how it was, but I didn't get an A at all. Like, I took 381, 309, Commerce 363, which is Intro to Database Management,
Mm-hmm.
CPRE 231, Ethical Hacking, CPRE 310. So that was like 5 decently sized courses. At least 2 of them were fairly large, 309 and 381. And I also worked 10 hours a week for ITS. I was just scanning papers, but I mean, it's still a job.
Right.
Dude, my PC didn't get turned on for like 3 months. I was just like, what's the point?
Fair.
I don't have time. You just literally just unhooked it, and I just used my extra monitors, like second and third monitors from our laptop.
Mm-hmm.
I think the earliest I've ever left the TLA was like 9:30 p.m.
Damn.
It wouldn't be surprising if I got home at like midnight, and then
Right.
I
It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned like being late at night. You know, sometimes you'd see professors also here late at night, like at like 2 a.m. type of late at
Really?
night. Yeah.
what just doing stuff in their office.
Well, so one of the best professors I've ever gotten. I mean, each ECP has tremendous professors.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not gonna say one is better than the other. They're all great for different reasons, right?
Yeah.
But one of my favorite professors is Dr. Zambrino. He was doing the CPRE 3D1, the computer architecture.
He was teaching it?
Yeah.
Dude, so he's my, sorry to cut this. I just wanted,
480?
huh?
Would you teach 480?
No, he's my advisor for senior design.
Oh, yeah, no.
And
wonderful.
I had an hour and a half meeting with him.
Mhm.
And, dude, he helped us refactor our code, and it looks so much better. And
sure.
he went in there without even really knowing what we're doing.
Huh.
And he just taught himself in 30 minutes, and he's like, all right. So you make a function. He's making function calls before they're even made.
Nice.
And I'm just like, dude, you're a freaking wizard on C, man.
No, he was, yeah, no, and he's also a great professor.
He's just a great person.
Yeah, and I think, I really wish other places, other universities also had like a Zambrino-esque type professor.
Yeah. Oh, he's so nice.
He was at Coover in the TLA at what, 1 a.m. when everybody was just scratching their heads about 381, and he was just helping each of the stations. And I'm like, Doctor, what the hell are you doing here? Go sleep. You're the professor. You're the one that's like supposed to laugh at us.
Yeah.
Like, obviously a joke, but like you're supposed to be like, yeah. But no, he says, no, I'm just here, just helping him to see how you guys are doing at 1 a.m. It's insane.
Yeah.
And he's the one professor I absolutely love for one reason specifically is that you can disagree with him in class, right? So he's teaching something and you disagree because it doesn't make sense to you. You're like, I don't understand this. He'll invite you to your office. He'll sit you down and he'll tell you to explain, okay, why do you think you are right? And you explain it. And after you're done explaining, he'll just laugh and then go on his whiteboard, wipe it all out, and just tell you point by point why you're wrong. Like why your assumption is wrong. And to me, that was absolutely wonderful. Because like now I know what's wrong with my logic.
Yeah.
It's not condescending. So some professors can be condescending. I know a lot of professors in comp sci can be very condescending.
Redacted name Steve Couts.
Oh yeah, for sure. That man.
That's probably what 45 minutes in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to keep him a reminder on that.
Well, isn't he retired like 7 times now?
Actually, I think so. I don't know. Yeah. He literally, well, to back the statement up, he was like, we were like, well, can I get some help on this? And he basically just told the student, if you think this is hard, maybe you should drop this class and take the prerequisite to it, which is not required.
That sounds about couch.
I'm just like, man, that is rough.
Yeah, no, he's interesting.
I think he's hilarious, honestly. But
So it requires a special type of person to appreciate him,
yeah,
and a lot of people just can't. I know, especially if you're, I would say if you're a freshman and you get him as the first professor, you're gonna cry.
yeah. He
Speaking of,
doesn't throw bones to anybody.
oh no, he does not care. There's one guy. I don't know if I should say it. I'll keep that redacted. We'll talk about it off camera. But one of my worst professors, though, is, I'm not gonna say his name out of respect. I don't know how much he deserves of that, but is my computer engineering 185 freshman year. So unlike some tryhards that come into Iowa State, I've never actually
Is
taken
this
a
the
program.
person who codes in Notepad?
I think all freshman classes we have to code in Notepad. Most of it, at least. Notepad++. But anyway, I'll get to it and then tell me if you know him.
Okay.
So again, unlike other people who said, "Oh yeah, I took AP Comp Sci, I did this and this, and I can make all of this stuff." I went into computer engineering with not knowing a lick of programming. I argue that changing printf hello world to hello Aiman is not necessarily a great learning experience, even though I'm very proud of that before I went into college. Um, but I went in there and it was like, I swear, a third of the way through the semester, and the professor was like, okay, we are going to use this random function, KNC rand. You got to seed, you usually seed it with like srand times 0, whatever the time is currently. You seed it with that, and then you can call random and it generates random fun. So my question to him, and I still think is a valid question, I still do, is how does rand, like the random function, how does it actually work? Like, how does it generate the random number? Right? Okay. So to answer that, there's a bunch of different algorithms you can do. A lot of the common one is using a bunch of XORs with a magic number, and then you somehow output a random number depending on the seed.
You know what's the beauty of magic numbers?
What? They're magic?
Yeah, they're literally called magic numbers because they just literally just popped into existence by the NSA, and they're just used with algorithms.
Beautiful.
They're just like, that's literally the reason they're like, well, we can't really come up with a good explanation, but it's some sort of absolute randomness or pseudo randomness. I'm not sure.
Right, pseudo. It's always pseudo.
Yeah, but it's supposed to help. Like, hey, here's one key of the pseudo randomness or whatever.
Where was I going with that? Yeah. So then the professor responds by saying, "Oh, you're a computer engineer. You should know this. Come on, you should know this." And starts laughing, and I'm like, "Bro, I don't know. That's why I'm asking."
This is 185.
Bro, I don't know anything, man. I can barely write a for loop.
You're like, I don't even know how to write a for loop.
Damn. I went hard on the Zybooks stuff.
Yeah?
I went hard. After...
How long did they do Zybooks for? I heard they'd even... Did you guys have Zybook labs?
No, we had Zybooks homeworks.
I did. I had Zybooks labs.
Damn.
I didn't get to work with the controllers.
What? Oh, were you online?
Well, not the lecture or the lab.
So how did you end up being online labs?
I don't know. Fall 2020.
Fair enough. That's interesting, though. No, the controllers, 185. Did you get CPRE 185?
Yeah.
Huh, that's even weirder, because you usually, that's what you...
Pretty sure we're the same professor.
No, probably not. He got fired after my semester.
Oh, yeah, probably not then.
Unless he came back. I saw him in Ames.
No, I had Daniels.
Oh, no, I did not have him. No,
Okay.
I had a fun guy.
Yeah, somebody else. That's okay. No, I thought Daniels was nice. He always told funny stories, and
I still think that everyone should take a course with Dr. Mani Meena. And I don't think you took a class with him because you don't need to take EE classes. He is honestly so funny. He will I have ADHD. He does too, but he doesn't want to admit it. I'm proclaiming, and I don't care. I am proclaiming right now the man has horrible ADHD.
Wait, so I actually have a question. When you're like signing on to BAE, they're like, okay, do you have like any disabilities or whatever, like ADHD?
ADHD is not a disability.
Okay.
At least not in their definition. So they'll give you a list of things.
Okay. I would just say no, I don't have a disability because I'm like the professor. I'm like, no, I don't. It could be clear as day, but I'm like, no, I don't.
No, so yeah, no, they'll definitely tell you, right?
Okay.
They'll give you all the information. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, be okay.
Yeah. Where was I going with that? Gosh. Oh, yeah, ADHD.
Yeah.
So the guy, you ask him something and he'll start teaching you, and then if you start talking with your friend about some random BS and he overhears you, he will start a lecture on that topic, and it's the funniest thing ever. So I know this professor. He's Persian, right? So you start talking smack about Persians, and he'll start going on a lecture about how Persians suck.
That's awesome, dude.
He's the funniest guy. Jason Rangel, he loves Manamina.
Is that the Jason Discord?
Yeah.
I may have met him in person once.
Oh, you don't know him? Oh, I thought I was under the assumption you did.
I mean, I know him through the Discord,
Right.
and through maybe Perfect Games one time.
Yeah, definitely when you were wearing your bandana
Yeah.
sideways.
There's a lot of sideway things that night. There may have been a couple drinks had, but
For sure.
yeah, the laser tag was something.
God, laser tag, running up and down, side by side.
Yeah.
And then someone's stuff didn't work. Was that yours? Your
Yeah.
stuff didn't work?
Well, I didn't know how to make it work, and they probably showed us how.
You weren't paying attention.
No, I was just so focused on telling everyone good luck. You're gonna get crapped on.
I didn't care about the points. I just chased people and get meleeed them.
Just get out of my game. That's awesome.
There's one point. One guy was like hiding behind a wall, and I just sat there. So he already got shot. So there's like a cooldown. I just waited behind the moment.
Yeah,
it turned
it's probably me, dude.
It was pretty. Funny.
I was trying to camp that entire game, and this good people as I got by, and then everyone would see me. I'm like, how do you see me? It's dark in here.
We need to up the stakes. We need to play paintball. That shit hurts.
That'll make you hide. That'll make you hide. Dude, I've seen so many like wicked airsoft clips though. Like I've seen people play it like they're playing Call of Duty, like they're slide canceling and jump around corners and and they're doing.
There's also I always found like airsoft grenades to be insane. Like holy shit, calm down.
like how do you know if you got hit?
Well, you'd feel it. So I think it's like honor system. I haven't played airsoft. It's more honor system. Like if you feel like you get hit, you're supposed to like raise your hand and be like, hey.
Yeah.
Paintball, you're supposed to do that too, but rarely people give a shit.
Yeah, there's like.
That shit hurts though.
Yeah.
That shit
Especially
hurts.
if you freeze them, dude. Oh.
Well, I mean, I never
You're
thought
playing
of
with lethality.
I've never thought of freezing the paintballs. That's big brain stuff right there.
It's a war crime. Don't do it. That dude, if you really want to mess someone's day up.
I know smoke bombs are common. But again, just general airsoft or paintball grenades, those blow my mind. That's like try hard as hell.
Yeah.
There's one set they're like fucking machine guns too, you know, and you're just
They got freaking turret-mounted machine guns.
Calm down.
They got a whole freaking tank of paintballs on the top.
Right.
It looks like a freaking water tank, like almost 5 gallons.
Or you have a fucking mini gun that goes down.
Yeah, it's the whole the whole wind up and everything. You're mounted on the side of a helicopter circling the field.
God damn it.
You're just like,
but there are airsoft competitions they last like quite a bit of time.
Oh, yeah.
Too, that you have to actually go out camping and all that shit. Like it's insane.
dude, that'd be sick.
I don't know how it survived. That's just straight up for shits and gigs at that point.
Yeah, it is, but I think it's neat though.
Yeah.
Like there's like whole fields over in Illinois and stuff where they just rent out like 20 acres just in airfield competition.
I don't have enough friends for
Or
that.
not airfield, but airsoft.
I don't have enough
But it's
friends.
like, dude, they have like abandoned buildings and stuff that you're going through. This is hardcore.
And you gotta go find vantage points. You gotta go get your
yeah.
snipers. It's insane.
Yeah, but then it's like there's this guy on YouTube. I think his name's like Shiloh or something, but he's like a sniper in airsoft, and then he has cameras mounted on like his helmet, then on a sniper. So then he has like Call of Duty hit marker effects whenever he snipes someone. I'm like, that's sick.
I think I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Every time you hit someone, there's a sound bite.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, this guy's got it. His production quality's really good.
Yeah. Isn't there just a GoPros on his forehead? Not forehead, but on his helmet.
Yeah, on his helmet. Then I think he has one on his gun too.
Huh.
Which I think is super. He's got a really sick setup.
Oh yeah. I mean, once you become a YouTuber and like airsoft, you gotta be.
You got it. You gotta be top level, man.
Yeah, dude. I swear. No, but some of them like straight up ghillie suits.
Oh
No,
yeah.
Like,
Oh, it's like it's serious. They're throwing the leaves on themselves, and man,
like,
I don't know. Airsoft would be neat. I just like I'm just not try hard enough for it.
yeah.
I'd just be out there in like a t-shirt and shorts. I'm like, then I get shot in the leg. I'm like, all right, I'm done with this stuff, dude. I'm out. I'm
No,
going home.
I honestly, if I see you,
You're
What's
lighting
up?
me up. You're hoping your gun has full auto. You're hoping you can empty your clip in 10 seconds.
oh, you wish 10 seconds.
It's gonna be 5. It's gonna be an illegal rate of fire.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like 1,000 BBs a second. Dude, you get lit up like it'd be like one of those Asian hornet nests, dude.
Oh yeah.
Death. Dude, have you seen? What about bug fights? You like bug fights?
I don't know those exist. Didn't know
What?
I didn't know those exist.
Dude, people used to like post on YouTube like an Asian hornet versus like a prime mantis. Dude, the prime mantis literally just like
Is it praying or praying mantis?
I think it's praying mantis.
Okay. Because I've heard
I call-
both. I've heard both.
I don't know. I think prime mantis sounds better.
Okay, continue.
I don't know. But anyways, this prime mantis takes his like sword arms and like locks this thing in place and just eating into its head, dude.
Damn.
And it's a freaking killer. This is a killer hornet. If it stings you, you're dead, dude. If you don't get medical attention within like 30 minutes. Because that's the most poisonous payload.
It's like so. Have you seen there are videos where you can take snake venom and you have a cup of just straight up
Yeah.
blood and you pour the venom and you mix it up and it just coagulates.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gnarly.
That's exactly just what venom does. It's the chemical reaction. Just,
But it's funny that venom can also be used it can be transformed into something for medical purposes, right? Is that not the case? I think so.
I think so. Yes, because if there's something even more dangerous in like your bloodstream, you can use the venom to coagulate the blood before the stuff gets to your heart.
I know something about that makes it. Yeah,
I'm totally speaking out of my ass.
Yeah,
But
I've heard somewhere. We need to double check.
we need to double check this.
There's
Jamie,
also.
pull it up.
I mean, we have a.
We have a TV that doesn't even turn on.
Well, we need to figure out that.
I don't know. There's no remote. There's
We need
supposedly.
to get ask the guy in front.
Yeah, supposedly the auto camera's working. I really hope it is. The button's on.
Well, so they say. I mean, we did adjust the cameras.
True.
I'm curious how they'll turn out.
True. We'll take a peek after the
Yeah,
podcast is over.
just publish it.
Just publish it. Unedited.
Unedited. It is. Unplugged, unmuted,
Unplugged, unmuted,
unedited.
unedited.
Because I'm lazy.
Yeah, dude, honestly, it'd be so much easier if I just uploaded these.
Yeah.
But
How's
now,
How's your whole? So I know you uploaded some YouTube shorts. How did that go out?
the first one did great. The second one, I don't even think got uploaded as short, which really annoyed me.
Huh? What do you mean by it didn't get uploaded this short?
It's like I go to my shorts, there's only one short.
Huh.
But then when I was going into like YouTube Studios, like right now you cannot edit thumbnails of your shorts. And I'm like, well, this tells me it's a short then. Because I have hashtag shorts in the title and description. And it's less than a minute. It's only 40 seconds. But the first one got 1.8K views.
Damn.
And I'm like, that's sick. Like I was watching it. I'm like, I was refreshing the page every 10 minutes. Like, what we got now? What we got now? I was like, I was stoked, man. I got like 1,000. No. How many minutes would that be? 1.8K views. I think I got almost 100 hours.
Damn.
From just that short. And you need 1,000, 10,000 watch hours to be monetized. I don't know if that goes towards the monetization, but I don't know. It felt good. I got a reward for it.
Did you? What was the reward?
There's like a badge.
Still.
It still felt cool though. I'm like,
Right. Because it's funny. Because YouTube Shorts really, it really shows that our attention span has just gone
is
down.
dying.
It's dying.
It's
absolutely
not
dying. It's like
I will coincide with that statement.
Yeah, because I sent you my nephew's YouTube Shorts or YouTube channel, and you saw the shorts with like
Yeah.
18,000 views.
It's so dumb, dude. I mean, good for him though.
Yeah,
really.
it's awesome for him. But it's like it really shows you that people just don't have. It's not that they don't have the time. It's just that again, attention span just sucks now.
Yeah.
I'll speak to myself too. I can't. I mean, I generally can't watch like a movie really that well.
Yeah, I can't either because I just start messing around on my phone. I'm like, oh, what's this article about? Did I read that? And then next thing you know, I'm going through Instagram. And the next thing I'm playing Clash of Clans. And
So the problem, and I've gotten a lot of heat for saying this before, is that, like, for example, Dragon Ball Super is the least recent one. I don't remember. Anyway, one of them.
whatever the recent one is.
With Beerus and all that.
You're speaking the wrong crowd. I don't
Yeah,
watch
that's fair.
cartoons at all.
That's fair. The point is that because there's quite a few episodes in that, I have this weird thing where I go and read the summaries of all the episodes before I watch them. So I
So
know
you just depict-
I know exactly what's going to go on.
But you're still like,
granted,
oh,
granted, these types of shows, granted, these types of shows, you know what the outcome is. The hero has to always win.
Yeah,
That's
Goku's not gonna die.
Yeah, exactly. If he dies, he gets, reincarnated somehow.
Yeah, somehow, some way.
Yeah.
He's not gone.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna be great. He's gonna defeat everyone. But like at least when I when I read the summary, like then it's fun because then I can, like, in my head I have a picture of like how things are gonna turn out, and I know the outcome. But it's nice to then see if how I envision it versus how the story happened, if it's at least somewhat similar. Because the summary won't capture everything. It's a summary for a reason, right? So there's always space. But the only issue with Dragon Ball, and the reason why I do that specifically for Dragon Ball, is there's way too many fillers. Like, it's just, like, dude, I don't care enough if this guy has to go to this place for some inconsequential reason. It's like
You just want the plot, man.
it's like when people have, it's like when anime or any show, you have an episode, and then you have 3 episodes worth of flashbacks, and then
Yeah.
continue. I'm like, bro, tell me in like 30 seconds what happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't need, oh, back in the good old days, I did this and this. I went out. I went to do X, Y, and Z, and now I can't do that, and blah, blah, blah. And now that's why I'm a hero. I'm like, bro, okay. And you took 3 episodes to tell me that?
Yeah. Have you ever seen Money Heist on
The season 1.
What I really liked about that is they had the quick flashbacks.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, here we're executing the scheme.
Mm.
Then here's the 40-second clip
Right.
of how this was planned.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I fucking love that.
So there's what's that one guy that I think pissed everybody off?
Arturo,
Oh my god, I hated
the
that guy.
banking guy,
I hated
where
that guy.
he's just thought he was
Such a
just
dick. What a
like,
piece of
shut
shit.
up.
So that's I love that character so much because he genuinely made me pissed off.
Yeah,
Like,
I just wanted him to die
Yeah,
immediately. I'm
just,
like,
just kill him already. And
Yeah.
he always finds a way to not be killed.
yeah.
Like, it's insane. It's like, oh my god, shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, he drove me up the wall. Then I'm like, they need to eliminate him now. But it was I don't know. I feel like after season 2, it just needed to be done.
I didn't watch. I don't think I watched season 2.
No, tell me, this doesn't matter.
One Netflix show that I absolutely adore was House of Cards. I like political.
I heard that was really good.
It's good until season 5. So Kevin Spacey had his incidents, right? And I'm gonna say that whatever he does in personal life doesn't really affect his acting.
Yeah, you watch a TV show for the art
for
itself, not the
so,
people.
Exactly. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
But season 1 to season 5, perfect. But the moment it hit season 6, when Kevin Spacey was basically kicked out, and it just there's no story to it anymore. Basically, this last season was, oh yeah, now Kevin Spacey's he's out or he's on the hunt, or he was apparently going to be killed off or something like that. And I'm like, bro, this is not even fun
All right,
anymore.
all right.
Because he was the main character that brought it for 5 seasons, and all of a sudden he's not there anymore. You're like, bro.
It's like when Michael Scott left The Office.
Yeah, I don't.
Should have ended it.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. And then you don't especially when it's a main character.
Yeah.
When a main character leaves, you can't do it.
No. Like that's like the way I am with bands. Like now, it's like one of my favorite bands of all time. They lost my favorite vocalist, guitarist, now bassist.
Well, then what's the hell's the point? That's not even a band that you
The only
know.
like original people is like the one rhythm guitarist,
Hmm.
but he's a great rhythm guitarist. Was like just rename yourself.
Right, you have to rebrand. You have to rebrand. You cannot carry the same brand if more than half of the people's gone. And it's just
Yeah,
not
it's
the
like I don't
same.
know. It's over.
Right. Bands. Music is always great.
Dude, I'm so happy about the title, dude.
The
It
title's
sounds
wonderful.
nuts. I love it.
And I'm really sorry. I was meaning to bring there's an portable amp deck thing that I just want
I
to
don't even
give
think
to
I have
you.
anything that could plug into it though.
It's the bigger 3.5 millimeter. I don't know, whatever the bigger one, the bigger.
I'm pretty sure my interface already has a DAC in it.
Well, I mean, try it. Right. All I'm saying is try it.
Was it a preamp?
Oh, fucking no. It's a
Something.
it's good though.
It just makes it sound that much better.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel like you need like Bayer Dynamic headphones or something like you got. Because like with the Bose headphones.
Oh
I
yeah,
have,
you're using both. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't have Dolby Atmos. It doesn't have.
So I
spatial
mean, get the
audio.
ones that we're wearing right now. These are great headphones for that.
Or you think so? Little
Yeah.
$60 headphones.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, as long as you have an amp on it.
True, dude. The thing is like with these, I have been playing with this cord the entire time.
Yeah.
I feel like is that ADHD, autism? I don't know.
Yeah, everyone's
I don't know.
autistic nowadays.
Yeah,
It's the water, man.
it's the water. Dude, I didn't know how to act when they came in with this. This was a saving grace.
I'm still thirsty.
Dude, I am. I'm telling you, it's the burn ends that we had.
Oof, that was good. Good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love barbecue.
Dude, it was nuts. Yeah, for the record, this is for the guests. Aiman texted me today since he's coming into Ames. I'm like, what are we doing for lunch? He's like, cornbread. I'm thinking legit cornbread. I'm like, my
So
favorite.
funny.
I had no idea. I'm like, all right. I guess it's still winter, kind of. No, it's a barbecue place.
And we did not have any corn.
There was zero cornbread involved. There is a piece of bread.
Yeah, but it's not made of corn.
No, just bread.
Although I think you can order it. Right?
Should-
Probably. I mean, I hope so.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine you're like, hey, can I get some cornbread? Like, we don't sell cornbread. It's like imagine going to Toys R Us, like, hey, do you guys have toys? Like, no, we don't.
Do you have a favorite food?
For
Just in general.
in general, I don't know. It kind of goes down by like what culture. Like Chinese, I really like Mongolian beef.
Okay.
For American,
What is American food?
like hamburgers, steak, stuff like that.
Is that truly American? Are you sure?
I would say so. We're some of the. I'd say. Don't quote me. I'd say we are the biggest farmers of cows in the world.
I mean, probably.
So I'd say that's pretty American when you say it.
Sure. I mean, the thing about when you label things American, it's kind of hard because
Because it's just a big mixing pot. It's kind of
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tex-Mex is, I argue, is American.
Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex is American.
Yeah, that's true.
'Cause you don't have Tex-Mex in Mexico.
No, that's in Texas.
Yeah, exactly.
But I bet they got some good Mexican food down there just because it's so close to the border.
Right, and it always happens in a way where if you mix foods of different cultures or fusion foods, it's always so good. Somehow or other, it just
Dude,
becomes wonderful.
at Hy-Vee, they have these bacon jalapeno wontons or ragoons.
Sure.
So you got your cream cheese, a little bit
Yeah,
of
yeah.
crab, a little bit of bacon, a little bit of jalapeno. Then they serve it with syrup,
What syrup?
like maple syrup.
Holy shit.
Dude, I'm telling you, it looks wrong. It looks like you're just being fat as fuck.
I mean, you probably are.
You probably, dude. It is for whatever reason, it's one of the best combos for food I've ever had.
Huh.
It's so outlandish, but the first time I saw it, I'm like, stop it. That's not
We
syrup,
need-
right?
We need to stop.
We
by.
need to talk about this.
We need to stop by Hy-Vee then. I'm curious.
If you come down on a Friday, they have half off appetizers from
For
4 to
fuck's
6.
sake, we can just go now. Half off. What? Save $3.
Say $4.
Oh, sorry.
Not all of us are working at BAE yet.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. I'm just
I'm,
saying,
I'm
like
broke.
the point the point of coming down
The point
to
of
say
coming down.
to save $4
Like,
when I spend when I have to
you
spend like $30 for
30,
fuel.
yeah, $30, $40 to even get here. But that's like an hour's worth of work. You're like, whatever.
Well, yeah,
Not even. That's probably like fucking
I,
10 minutes to you.
I'm not gonna comment.
No, it's 5 minutes. It's okay. You just make $500K a year. Will not disclose.
Well, not this
No,
close.
that's fine. It's close to 500K, but that's why I'm trying to get there. No, but yeah, dude,
wish.
they're great. The bacon. If you want to go after this, I don't care.
Sure.
We just ate like 2 hours ago.
Okay. What's wrong with eating more?
Yeah, if we just get a single.
Single?
What do you mean?
Why?
The single appetizer.
Why are we getting a single appetizer?
How much you want to spend today? I don't have that much to spend, dude. You know what TAs make?
I do, especially undergrad TAs.
I'm an undergrad TA, dog.
Don't you get paid like $12 an hour?
13, but
See, here's the thing. You're
Ooh,
complaining.
an
You're
extra $13.
no, an extra $3 than what I made when I was an undergrad TA. You made 10. In my time, we made 10. And when I say in my time, I don't mean like way back when. I mean like 3 years ago. Yeah, but it was fine because like I spent a lot of time teaching, so it ultimately didn't matter. Like they limited it to 10 hours, but you know,
You're like, I'm just clocked in for 20.
I'm just clocking for 17 because
I mean, you're a good
it's per week, so it's not per day. I'm not working 17 hours a day,
Yeah.
right? But no, a lot of times what happens is people or students would come up, or not even come up, but you send me an email, be like, hey, I need you to be here, and I'm like, well, if I have nothing else to do, and if it's something that will get me out of the apartment, and not just work. I mean, I'd rather work helping people,
Yeah.
right? So
Like a good TA would.
I'll be there, and no one ever questions it. Like,
Yeah.
Like if I undercharge my hours, that's also equally wrong, you know. So I mean,
Yeah.
what do you want me to do? They ask me for help,
If they ask you for help, you're not going to tell them no.
right?
That's why people like you as a TA. You just want the money. You're like,
I didn't know it was never about the money for me. It was just the whole TA situation was never about the money. The TA situation, I know I was severely underpaid, as you know. TAs in
Yeah.
general severely underpaid. I just enjoy, being able to help people, being able to pass on knowledge and seeing like, oh shit, I've been working on this for so long and I can't get it. You call a TA over and you're like, oh yeah, it's just this and this and this, how you get there, and I'll explain how you get there and so on and so forth, and like, holy shit, it's not that complicated.
yeah.
And seeing that light bulb pop is like the best feeling ever, honestly.
Yeah.
Being able to transfer that knowledge. Yeah, I mean it's not that complicated, but I guess when you're a student in that class, it definitely is, and that's the hardest thing as any teacher, professor, whatever, is to relate to your students, especially if you've done that same thing over and over again. To you, it's trivial.
Yeah.
But to try to put yourself in their shoes again is very hard and requires some form of talent, I think.
Yeah, that's why whenever I'm like going through labs, I always run through the labs the weekend before typically for when I host a lab, and I always put down like kind of like notes where I struggled at if like I'm running through the lab because one of the head TA kind of remade the labs for ethical hacking, so I'm running through them again. I'm like, well, it's not like I've even taken these before. But if I'm like struggling at all, I make a note of this, and then I'll like tell them about it in the lab. Be like, hey, look out for this part. You're gonna struggle, but here's a tip I'll give you. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's again really hard to figure that out, to find that balance, because you don't want to hold their hand through it, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that, but
I
at the same
hate
time,
hand holding.
But at the same time, you need to have that struggle, just a bit of struggle to push you.
If you
forward.
don't struggle, you're not going to appreciate what you learned.
Exactly, and and people always call me a hard ass TA for making the labs a bit harder and harder every year. But I'm like, well, yeah, it is gonna be hard. That's the point. You grow when you achieve things.
Faced with adversity,
Yeah.
you will grow.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I hardly I, I hardly think that 288s could be considered adversities, but
Yeah, it's just if they think 288's hard, right till they get to 381.
yeah,
That's a force to be reckoned with.
yeah, yeah. And if they're insane, they go take 488 like someone here. Didn't you take 488?
No,
Oh shit, I thought you did.
no, like nobody here.
Okay.
Nobody was
Oh,
taking
you
488.
take 488. Anyway.
Did you take 488?
Oh, screw that.
I have a friend in it right now.
I mean, the thing is, a lot of people take that class just to say, oh shit, yeah, I can do this, I can do that. But at the end of the day, and to say that, oh yeah, I can prove myself to employers. Employers don't care. That's the thing. Employers do not care.
What do you think employers care the most about?
Tenacity. Well, so you need to be able to pass like your courses, but as I said very early on in the pod, you need to. They'll train you on the job. The fact that you get past a 4-year degree with a decent GPA shows that you can show up on time. You can get things done. You'll have problems, but you generally will solve them. Right, things like that.
Yeah.
I think is better, and involvement being slightly different than others. So everybody, the hard thing for an employer is that when they're trying to hire someone, they'll look at your resume. And first of all, you have to be good at writing your resume. A lot of people aren't. I'm not good at writing my resume, but I try.
I'm not gonna lie, you sent me your resume, and then I looked at mine, and Jacob Foster helped me write mine, and he had like a really nice template going for him, and just had a pinch of color. It was dark color though. It's like a dark blue for like headers and stuff, but it just helped visually. You can see even easier where the section.
Right.
And I looked at yours, and then Ahmed's like, you also realize he wrote that in latex, right? I'm like, what? I wrote mine in a Word document. So I'm like, his resume looks great for all.
So LaTeX is wonderful for writing a resume because it just formats everything really nicely.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm biased.
Yeah.
I think writing it in Word, it'd probably get the same effect. But I mean, what's cooler than being able to? There's like source code behind your PDF.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, this guy, just one up in everybody.
It is just a template. I will say that I didn't write the whole thing myself.
Nobody else know that.
Well, I'm telling you, I'd be transparent. But it's just
I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do
I
it.
wrote all the papers I wrote for the class, from all my classes I had to take for grad school. All of them were LaTeX.
Really?
Yeah. I made my own front page that looked a bit too regal. Well, regal's not the word. I forgot what the word is, but it's like so pumped up. Who's starting to sing?
I don't know. It sounded like an emergency beep or something.
That would be funny.
I have
Here.
no idea. Imagine it's just like a tornado warning. It'd be like,
We're safe. We're
underground. It's fine.
yeah, we're fine.
We're in a glass building.
Oh, that's the top part.
Not bottom part. We're fine, dude.
Yeah.
We are cement enforced.
Right.
With about 10 minutes left in the podcast, what do you think is what's the ultimate meaning of college?
That's a hard one. I think it's whatever the cliche answer is whatever you really make of it. I think it's a great, to go to college, and let's not talk about the whole expense stuff. Let's spare that for now. But the fact that you go to college and the relationships that you get, the people that you know, and especially if you're coming from a very small city, like small town, and you go to college, you have to integrate with different people. I think that's more important than the stuff you learn. Being able to work with people of different backgrounds, different thought processes, and this goes back to my whole thing about understanding people. I think that is the most beneficial out of everything, and also I think to learn how to think and how to solve problems, I think is the takeaway from college. That right there is, you cannot get that from I guess you can get that from not going to college, but you are forced into that more when you are in college. For example, if you took a class, you could learn the same things that you learn in college if you took a course on Coursera or YouTube. Yeah. But knowing that you can make a living, you can change your life if you go to college. If you took a specific major that has good job opportunities and so on, you can change your life with college. So really, the meaning of it, I don't know. I'd say the outcome, the eventual outcome, just the feeling of yes, I can do this. If I can do this, anyone. If I can achieve this, I can achieve anything, type of thing, right? Because apparently, again, it's all just at the end of the day, especially in computer engineering, nothing you learn here will be, shall we say, super applicable in the workforce. You will have to relearn a lot of things. But one thing you don't have to relearn is how to solve those problems, how to get to the point where you're somewhat comfortable in doing the things you need to do. And it's not something that you can easily get otherwise.
Yeah. I'd say, to me, college, or the meaning of college is you're just proving to an employer you can show up on time for 4 years or however many years. How well you do.
Right.
How well can you juggle whatever you're doing with other things you're involved with? How are you going to prove this is what you want to do?
Right.
How well can you work with others? The question that's always thrown me off is working in a group of people and given a struggle or some adversity came up, how did you solve it?
Right.
And I'm like, I think it just boils down to whether or not the people in the group want to do it or not.
Yeah. Again, you can't be a hermit, especially in university. You just simply cannot. It doesn't work that way.
No, it
But
doesn't.
it forces you to communicate with people. Granted, we don't do a good job at it, I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't. Like computer engineers, especially, or even especially comp sci.
Comp sci's a dangerous field to get into. If you just want to be socially awkward the rest of your life.
Yeah, greasy haired.
Greasy hair. You've never seen a shower since 2004.
I wonder why that's the case, though. I just genuinely wonder why. Like, it's such a stereotype, but it's not far from the truth. Like, that's what you see.
Hold on, guys. I'm too busy coding my Python.
Yeah, I mean, like, why?
It's like,
I don't understand why you can't be good at comp sci at the same time take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe they're just depressed. The Python's not Pythoning.
yeah, pip doesn't install the right.
Pip's just not working.
Okay,
Pip's
yeah.
being bad.
You
Who knows? We don't
installed the wrong version of pip, man.
We're working on Python too. That's what we're working on.
Oh.
We're working on Python, but we think it's assembly. Assembly is the word.
There's Circuit Python that tries to
Tell
do
me
it.
you don't have to work with assembly at BAE.
You can if you want to.
I don't.
But you should. I'll put your recommendation for you to work in assembly. Please.
No.
Please.
No.
It's funny.
No, for you to watch me fail and lose my job.
Nah, you won't.
No.
It'll be funny, though.
It would be funny. But 5 minutes to remain. What's your last message you want to put out on this podcast?
My last message to everyone is if you are in college or if you're starting out college, if you're high school, whatever, it's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard. But face it. And grow from it. Don't just be like, oh.
Unless you're a communications major, you're going to have zero adversity.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Literally anything that's not STEM related.
You gotta.
Well, actually, law school.
Yeah, law school's hard. If you're a business major, then just make sure you know which color crayons to eat.
Yep. Just don't suck down the markers.
Right. The red Sharpies are bad. Blue Sharpies do not taste like blueberries, I promise.
The green ones are very minty.
Yeah. Ooh.
Very minty. I like just chewing on them. It's like a mint. It's like a lifesaver.
Right.
I always ask, why are your teeth so green?
Just I mean.
Fresh breath.
Yeah, minty fresh.
Minty fresh. I'm so fresh. I am ridiculously fresh. PSA, don't eat crayons. Don't eat markers.
Yeah, don't actually do that.
Don't. I don't eat markers.
Tide Pods. Don't eat that too.
Don't eat Tide Pods. Don't eat stuff you find on the ground.
Yeah.
Don't. Just behave. That's gonna be the end of the podcast.